Hello and welcome to Clean Water and You, an AWWA presentation. In this short video, we will be reviewing the lakes in the border region between Acton, Maine and Wakefield, New Hampshire, what residents and lake organizations have done to help our lakes, and what you can do for your own lake. Let's get started. The waters of the AWWA region provide wildlife habitat, recreational opportunities, and significant revenue from tourism and property taxes. Residents in both Acton and Wakefield say that they value the rural beauty and way of life enhanced by the region's many lakes and ponds. Today, the water quality in most of our lakes and ponds is above average. However, long-term trends are in the wrong direction for many of our local water bodies. As we face the inevitable pressures of growth, it is important to look forward and protect our precious resources as the communities face the challenge of balancing development and preservation. The New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services and the Maine Department of Environmental Protection cite erosion and polluted runoff as the greatest threats to the water quality of our lakes and ponds. Polluted runoff carries sediments as well as excess nutrients from fertilizers, failing septic systems, pet waste, salts, pesticides, and other toxic contaminants into lakes and streams. As the area is developed, erosion from disturbed areas increases the potential for water quality decline, and the region is growing. FB Environmental's build-out analysis for the Salmon Falls Headwater Lakes Watershed Plan projects a 200% increase in housing units over the next 40 years. This development will increase the potential for contaminated runoff to reach our lakes and streams. One potential problem caused by sediments entering the lakes is the loss of property value. Property values may decline when a lake, pond, or stream fills with sediment. Shallow areas also encourage weed growth and create boating hazards. Studies show that a 3-foot decline in water clarity can result in up to 20% decline in shorefront property values. Lower property values can also raise taxes for those living farther away from the shoreline in order to make up for the tax revenue deficit. In addition to the monetary costs of poor water quality, the ecological and recreational costs can be dire as well. Poor water quality leads to poor fishing. Muddy water drives away fish that rely on their eyesight to see food. Sediment covers gravel beds where fish spawn and smothers microscopic organisms that fish eat. Sediment may also damage fish gills. In addition to damaging fish, sediment carries nutrients that feed algae, toxic bacteria, and aquatic weeds. These can grow to levels where they become full-scale cyanobacteria blooms. In addition to their aesthetic nuisance, cyanobacteria blooms produce enough toxins to be lethal to pets or children in the water. All of these threats culminate in the loss of tourism, a vital industry to the towns of both Acton and Wakefield. As time goes on, lakes begin taking on more and more nutrients from the surrounding landscape, as well as nutrients recycled in their waters. Overall productivity in a lake increases as the lake takes on more life forms. The lake is unable to recycle all the internal nutrients, leaving behind a food source for aquatic plants. Once a lake has plenty of food for aquatic plants, the cycle will slowly grow in intensity. Algae blooms start as small seasonal masses, and as they grow and die, they recycle nutrients into the lake that can be used in future years. Cyanobacteria blooms also increase in frequency and intensity, using oxygen in the lake valuable to aquatic wildlife. This cycle continues until there are frequent and sustained algal blooms throughout the season. At this state, the lake is highly productive. As you can imagine, as the lakes continue to age, aquatic plants begin to dominate the scene. Green algal blooms, lots of shoreline plants, and even plants growing in waters 20 feet deep. All this time, the lake has been trying to recycle material and keep the system functioning, but with more and more material being put into the lake than let out, the lake has been filling in. Eventually, the lake dies and begins a new life as a bog, marsh, or swamp. Although many nutrients need to be biologically available for aquatic plants to thrive, one nutrient leads to excess plant growth: phosphorus. Phosphorus is a naturally occurring element found in the atmosphere and soils. Phosphorus is also present in fertilizers, septic systems, manure, and pet waste. In young lakes, phosphorus is present in low concentrations and limits plant growth. As more phosphorus enters a lake, more algae can grow. This is the importance of lake aging. In a natural setting, it may take hundreds of years before a lake has enough phosphorus to cause persistent algal blooms. With the presence of humans in development, our lake shorelines have been carved up. The removal of trees and natural buffers allow runoff from the land to enter the lake unabated. This polluted runoff has large concentrations of phosphorus in it. The more runoff from your camp's roof, driveway, or lawn that reaches the lake, the more phosphorus enters the lake, and the faster the lake ages. Next, we'll find out how you can help reduce the entry of sediment into your lake and slow the lake aging process. Some of the activities you do inside can translate to issues outside on your property or the lakes and streams nearby. For example, harsh chemicals can wreak havoc on your septic system and leach into water bodies. Also, try to minimize the use of water at your lakefront home. If a system becomes overloaded by excessive washer loads, showers, or toilet use, it may become ineffective. Many practices you do outside of your home also have an effect on water quality. There are many simple and effective methods to use to protect your land, your lake, and your investment. Perhaps the best way to do this is by preventing stormwater from buildings, pathways, driveways, and roads entering the lake. Check your property on a rainy day and fix runoff sites by planting vegetation at the shorefront or constructing swales to direct water flow away from the lake. If you are unsure about what to do, contact AWWA for a free site-specific design consultation. Also, before making any change on your land, check with your town to see what is permitted and what is not in the shoreland. In Maine, this is within 250 feet of the lake and 75 feet of streams. New Hampshire defines the shoreland as within 250 feet of the lake and any fourth order or higher stream. The easiest way to reduce your impact on the lake is to reduce your own labor. Park that mower and allow the grass to grow it a bit longer. It will reduce erosion as well as to help filter out sediments. Hang up that rake this fall. A natural layer of leaf cover helps reduce the erosion of bare soils. Finally, save some money and keep that fertilizer off the lawn or garden. A lot of fertilizers contain high levels of phosphorus. If you feel you absolutely need to fertilize your lawn, make sure to use a phosphorus-free fertilizer. On fertilizer bags, your middle number should read 0. Obviously, some of the greatest impacts you can have on the water occur while you're enjoying the lake itself. Next time you're out for a boat ride or swimming along the shore, think about how you use that water and how some of your practices influence water quality. For example, if you're installing a new dock, choose cedar, cypress, plastic, or aluminum over wood that's pressure treated with arsenic. The state of New Hampshire has clearly defined regulations about dock construction and placement. Be sure to check the permitting regulations by calling New Hampshire DES at 603-271-2147. Also, observe headway speed within 200 feet of the shore in Maine and 150 feet in New Hampshire. Heavy wakes near the shoreline can cause undercutting, which can eventually result in the collapse of the shoreline and tons of sediment entering the lake at once. Finally, humans, boats, and pets should never be washed in the lake. Now that we've gone over some of the things you can do to help your lake, just what is it that AWWA has been doing to help? Well, for the past 8 years, the Acton Wakefield Watersheds Alliance has employed a Summer Youth Conservation Corps, or YCC, to install shoreline erosion management practices for lakefront property owners. Property owners supply the materials, and the YCC does all the labor of installing the erosion control measures. In its first 8 years, the AWWA YCC has installed 577 erosion control features on 147 different properties, stopping 301 tons of sediment and 255 pounds of phosphorus from entering our lakes and rivers. AWWA also participates in school programs with both Acton Elementary and Paul School. Programs allow students to access hands-on education about watersheds, erosion, and invasive water species and water chemistry. Discovery cruises allow people of all ages an opportunity to learn more about the lakes. Participants tow a net to collect a plankton sample, observe wildlife above and below the waters, and learn how the lake systems work. Paddles are a great way to learn about the rivers, impoundments, and lakes of the AWWA region. Typical paddles include educational games, wildlife observation, and an up-close look at some of the aquatic insects in the water. We hope that you've enjoyed our presentation. And remember, if you have any questions for AWWA or would like a free erosion evaluation of your property, feel free to contact AWWA at 603-473-2500 or email us at info@awwatersheds.org. Have a great day and go enjoy your nearest lake.